Do you have any of this thing?
Of course I have. Like, my card is exactly the same as yours, but because you already wrote the word, like the Chinese letter of my name in that card, so sadly I can't give it to you. Because usually I don't use the card very much. Like, for example, last time I asked you to write every single of my name in here.
Yeah, but I have another way to fix the things because the letter I write in there have a little problem.
So do you want to, like, maybe I can give it back to you. You can use your correction pen.
No, I don't want to use correction because if I have correction, I will. Because if I use the correction pen, I also do this with my card. But I say no.
But I think there's nothing wrong with your card.
No, there's something wrong with my letter.
Can you show me one bit about your letter? What's wrong with that?
This thing and this thing down here.
Oh my god. If I see that, I would be thrilled to have that card. But yeah, if you don't want my card, then that's fine because...
Yeah, I will stick like another kind of paper in. So
well, I think you're a little bit complicated with these things. Well, I do have a card, but I just use them to have a bookmark because...
Yeah, so I would use the corners of this thing and I cut it out. And
so why did you cut out that beautiful notebook?
Just like the back here, because sometimes I don't use the cover.
Can you borrow them for a little bit? So, what topic are we going to talk today? Do you have any ideas about what topic we're going to talk today?
So today I just find on the internet and I find a topic that really like interests me. It about should we just like have to learn the academic subject good, or maybe we have to good also in the sport.
Well, I think for this topic, if we choose between negative and positive, I think it's gonna be hard.
Yeah,
like,
because
very hard.
Yeah, because I choose sport thing that we have to good sport thing.
Yeah, because for example, maybe we're just gonna discuss the problem like two sides. Maybe because, for example, if I choose just learn academic, and you choose just learning sports. Well, if we just learn sports, it's not okay. So I think it's very hard for us to choose between negative or positive. That's the reason why just discuss about those. So what's your opinion about it's better to be good at academic than good at sports? What's your opinion?
So I think we have to good at both those things. We don't have to like be the best student at the two kind of area of the two kind of that area, but we have to like maybe in everything we good a little bit. Also because it's good for us. So sport make me like feel healthy and sporty and strong, and so the academic make me feel more intelligent and will like be flexible in every problem.
Well, I feel the same actually, because take for example a bookworm. If like that person just focus on academic, that's the reason why we have the word nerd. The word nerd describes somebody just like bury themselves in a book and never play any sports, or like just, and nerd usually were classes, but I'm not a nerd. I'm very good at sports. So nerd is describes somebody that they just study and study all the time, and they're quite not very strong. They're very weak. That's why when we watch some Darman, you'll see some nerd very weak. Yeah, so that's why they have the word nerd. So yes, I think nerd is not very good. Being a nerd is not very good. I agree that they're very smart, but they're not very strong when it comes to playing sports. Like for me, I balance both in learning academic and doing sports. So I would learn all the day. I would learn in the morning, afternoon, and evening. And I would take about 1 hour every day to go swimming. So I kind of balance those two things. And it's not too bad.
Yeah, so I also like go swimming at the same time with you, but sometimes if like I feel tired, or maybe I have some day I don't want to go swimming, so I will change about cycling around the lake near our house.
Yeah, that's very healthy also. Well, somebody just said that, is it better to be good at academic or good at sport? Well, there's many types. I think they would choose to be good at academic more because maybe sport is a lot like more difficult. Or someone, if they're not very good at learning math or English, literature, they would choose sports. But I think like you don't really have to be good at anything. You just need to balance those two things, and maybe don't focus on one of those two too much. Because if you focus on sports too much, then for academic, like you will not very like pay attention to school. But if you focus on academic too much, then you will not have a very healthy life.
Yeah, but we have to like consider why people choose that, because now, like in our society, especially in our country, so a school it very like rarely have some competition about sport. So students like really focus on sport, especially some people like they want to exercise themselves. So it just like they just have some exams and we do some writing tests and just like check about our academic knowledge.
Well, I agree with you because right now I think in primary and secondary, well, for high school it's different because I see high school they balance both sport and academic.
Yeah.
But I think for primary and secondary they didn't focus on that too much because if for some teacher, I remember I loved my second grade teacher because she like didn't take PE for granted. If for example this day we can't learn, then tomorrow she will let us learn PE. So she will have like PE lesson and she will not cut through it. But for the other teachers, for the other teachers during primary and secondary, for primary they always, not often, but they always take the PE lesson to learn other stuff or to practice other stuff, like learning math instead of learning PE. But in secondary, I think it's kind of better, but still worse because there's an actual PE teacher, but when we go down, just play, and we didn't practice anything. Sometimes we do practice, but for 5 minutes, so what's the point in doing it?
Yeah, so when I started study PE at the secondary school, so I'm a two-type teacher. The first thing maybe now is the retired because I think she's like have enough age to retire at home. So when we study that teacher, we have to do all the exercise, the whole lessons. But then when she retired, we changed it to another male teacher, and he just like let it play all the time. Or sometimes maybe like he just let it like take some exercise for 5 minutes, and then we also play. So it just like some of the boys they play football, maybe some basketball. So that also the sport exercise. But for the girl, we just sit and talk. So that nothing.
So do you know what I did in the whole 30 minutes left of the lesson? We just come back to our classroom. The girls, we come back to our classroom and do whatever we want. So the girls have phones, so they wouldn't watch phones because the classroom have the air conditioner. So we often go there. And like we just asked my teacher before, so we didn't get in trouble.
Yeah, sometimes like especially at my last year in the secondary school, so we just like whenever we have some PE lesson, I and some of my like classmates will hire the teacher like make some excuse, and we go to the class because we have the air conditioner on, and we just like do my thing. Maybe I would study a little bit and do homework. So when I be at home, I would have more time to do other things.
So I kind of like high school because they said that high school is the best time of your life. Yeah, because they have prom and other stuff. University is also good, but I've heard a sentence like high school is the best moment of your life. 3 years, the best years of your life. So yeah, I'm really happy for you that you go to high school. And I'm waiting for me to go to high school more because I think in high school there are more clubs, especially you go to a good school and they like focus on sports a lot. And also you should like practice. Well, I didn't mean that you have to practice until you're exhausted. Even if you practice just 10 minutes every day, that's also practice.
Yes, we just like day by day, maybe we like will practice jogging. So maybe the first, maybe for the first few days, we just like jog for a few minutes because we're not familiar to that. But day by day, we feel we get used to that. So maybe we can increase time we do that thing, and we will increase the distance we jogging.
That's right. Well, it doesn't matter if you, for example, for a day, because now it's actually summer, so you don't need to learn pretty much. You just need to review your lesson. So maybe review your lesson for 1 hour a day, exercise a little bit, and then the rest of the time you can discover new skills at summer. I love discovering new skills. I think like in summer, I have just discovered my new passion, just sketching. You already know that. I've told you lots of times. So what's the skill that you have found, like what's the skill that you've just found out that you have a passion for during summer?
During summer, so I made my contact on every social media. So I find very new thing in that, and find some tip about learning IELTS and some new vocabulary in there.
Well, you seem to get your phone back now. Well, like I have a new passion. I don't say it's a passion, it's just like my hobby, because I think I will not be an artist in the future. And people say I'm very good at drawing. And when I said I draw it by myself, I can't draw it by myself. I have to look at a tutorial in order to draw that beautiful. So I think I'm good at copying, not good at drawing.
Yeah, so you have like when you watch some tutorial on the YouTube, you have to choose some video that have exactly like the length, the distance, and the rate.
Yeah, like the distance between the nose and the mouth and the forehead and the eyes. You have to have this thing, because if I just see like a random guy drawing, just draw a face so beautiful. How can I draw a face so beautiful if I don't have the length? So I have to find some videos that easy step-by-step. It's like step-by-step tutorials. And I think like later I'm going to work on a bigger canvas. Because usually I draw by A5 paper. But later I'm going to draw by A4 paper. And this time I'm going to draw Wonder Woman or Spider-Man.
Yeah, so which one do you choose?
I think I'm going to draw Spider-Man first. And then after that I'm going to draw Wonder Woman. If you look at him, it's maybe very hard, but I think I can manage.
Yeah, so I think maybe like Spider-Man is a bit easier for the face, because he has all the suits covered from the up to down.
No, but
so maybe the eyes you don't have to draw, also the nose and the mouth.
That's the reason why I choose that first. And also, but I draw his whole body. I draw from here and here, so I draw the shirt.
So in which position?
Like this. His position, and I have to draw his hands too. And one thing is very interesting, because
I think the hand is very difficult to draw.
Yeah, but I can like look at tutorials and I can find them. And about his shirt and his spider, I think it's pretty easy for me to draw. And for Wonder Woman, maybe it's a little bit more difficult, because well, yeah, Wonder Woman, her hair, we have to make her hair a little bit realistic. I think we're gonna add a topic here. Go back to the topic. Okay, so about academic. Well, what part? Well, for being good at academics, okay, so this question. If you can only choose one, what would you choose? Be good at academic or good at sport?
If I choose one, so I would choose the thing that helpful to me in the future. So I would choose academic, because in the future I don't have the intention to be an athlete. I will choose the other way for my future, so I would choose academic.
No, actually me too, because do you know I get a 50%? No, 70% scholarship. So that's like the test, but other person, they good at singing, maybe sports. They can also get a scholarship there, but just 50%. Or yeah, so for me, I think I would definitely choose academic. Well, I would also do sport, but maybe not too good at them. So I think I'm gonna be good at academic, because it's gonna help me in the future, get me scholarships, get me into a good school. So I think mostly everyone would choose that. Or else, if someone may be an athlete, they would choose sport.
Yeah, and if you go to some college that focus on sport, so maybe if you're good at some sport and you have some award, some medal, so maybe you get the scholarship to go to that school.
I think like I'm working on, because my teacher, now I'm thinking a lot, because my teacher Ian, he asked me, have I ever thought of high school in America?
Yeah.
And I said, actually I've never thought of that. And he told me that I can, with my ability, I can easily get a scholarship in America with a good school like Cornell or Harvard. No, not Harvard, it's a university, but for some high school. Yeah, so I was thinking about that, and that was quite interesting. And I searched on the internet that they said that I can easily get a scholarship right from home. Maybe like, I don't dream about 100%, but I dream about 70. If like our parents can manage. I'm working on myself, so yeah, that's what I'm working on. And that, I think we have finished this topic. Is it better to be good at academics or good at sports? That's pretty it.